Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X research and professional physicist. And today I'd like to bring to you another one of my articles. This one is entitled The Destroyer System, Planet X and the Oort Cloud. Now, the Oort cloud is a hypothetical shell of objects at a distance of between 50,000 and 200,000 AU from the Sun. The Oort cloud theory arose out of a need to explain where comets were coming from. These objects, which gain a colorful tail when they move toward the inner solar system, come from every possible direction in space, from the ecliptic, from the northern celestial hemisphere, and from the southern celestial hemisphere. So the cloud would have to be a spherical shell around the Sun. From the orbits of these objects, it was determined that they should be coming from a distance of between 50,000 and 200,000 AU. And 1 AU is the distance between the Sun and the Earth. So here's an illustration of what that shell would look like. So this would be made out of comet nuclei. But comets are not dirty snowballs, as is usually portrayed by accepted astronomical theory. They are either rocky asteroid-type objects, or they are stellar, planetary, or moon cores. And they are members of the Planet X system of dead or energy-depleted stars. As I detailed in Article 367 entitled Planet X Coming in as Comets and Affecting the Earth, the Planet X system is usually referred to as the local interstellar cloud, which is 30 light years in extent and which corresponds to 2 million AU. The Planet X system is making contact with the solar system matter right at the edge of the solar system, which is causing the interstellar cloud to experience raised temperatures. The Planet X system will not only have dead stars, planets, and moons in it, it will also be filled with dust and debris, which these objects generate through shedding their outer layers of material. This occurs because as the energy drops, they lose gravitational influence and thus lose the ability to attract their own outer layers. When dust from the Planet X system makes contact with solar system particles, heating and ionization occurs in what I call the Planet X effect. And you may look at these articles, Article 338, specifically on the Planet X effect, and Article 339, which talks about Planet X and the interstellar medium. And all the details are in those. Now, this therefore means that the term Oort cloud and local interstellar medium are all referring to the same system, the Planet X system, which corresponds to the source of dead or energy depleted objects or stellar cores and their debris, which come to the Sun as what is termed comets and are often observed in the Sun's corona. And we see one of these here. So you can see that's a spherical object in the Sun's corona. So this is one of the stellar cores. This is one of the Planet X system objects. So it's either a dead star, a dead planet. From its size, you can see it's quite considerable because the Sun is so huge. It's most likely the core of a small star. But they come to the Sun as comets. And here's another one that came to the Sun in 2007. And this one traversed the Sun in the Sun's corona. So this is where they come. They come right into the Sun's corona. And this one was not able to stop in the Sun's corona and give rise to a gravitational vortex, but it did traverse the Sun at a reduced speed. That is, it traversed the Sun at about 37 kilometers per second, which is way below the Sun's escape velocity, which is over 600 kilometers per second. So according to normal gravitational law, this is supposed to be impossible. But these objects are able to stop in the Sun's corona and make a gravitational vortex connection, draw a lot of material from the Sun. They're also able to go past the Sun at high speed speed and drew a lot of material from the sun. And then that's what gives rise to what we call CMEs. Now, the Planet X system seems to be at least 10,000 times larger than the solar system and may thus have tens of thousands of old stars, which are now stellar cores, or what remains of what was once living stars, and the dead planets and moons which were part of these star systems. These objects will absorb energy from any object that has more energy than they do, and will thus destroy and assimilate any living star system which they encounter, and are thus in the process of destroying and assimilating the solar system, our star system. You may look at Article 244 entitled The Planet X System, Destroyer of Star Systems for more details. This means that another perhaps more apt name for the Planet X system is the destroyer system. Now, the orbits which comets seem to have as they approach the sun has led to the realization that they may come from between 50,000 to 200,000 AU away. However, this is based on these objects obeying the known gravitational laws, which all solar system objects seem to obey. However, stellar cores, because they are depleted in energy, experience a much weaker gravitational interaction than solar system objects would at the same distance. And it seems that it is the electric interaction which brings them to the sun. And you may look at Article 184 entitled Stellar Core Evolution for details on that. This suggests that they may therefore come from a lot closer, which would agree with the Planet X system being as close as the edge of the solar system, or at 122 AU away from the sun. So this is illustrated here how the strongest interaction they would experience is because they are like super ions. They have a positively charged core, but they've lost their outer negative layer, which the sun still has. Well, it most likely still has some negative electrons left, although these are declining because these objects are removing a lot of the sun's electrons. But therefore they are like a super ion, and they are attracted to the sun's negative outer layer. And so it is the electrostatic attraction between positive and negative charges that seems to bring them in towards the sun. The gravitational attraction between the two seems to be quite weak. And it's only when they come very close to the sun that they are able to exert enough of an interaction that they can then grab parts of the sun's corona and create gravitational vortices inside the sun's corona. They have to actually go inside the sun's corona to be able to do that. Now here's the interstellar cloud, which is actually the Planet X system, which is about 30 light years in extent. So the solar system would be a tiny sphere inside that system. And the solar system has not been inside this cloud for very long, so possibly a few thousand years. Now, comets have been observed since around 3000 BC, which would mean that the solar system has been inside the Planet X system for at least 5,000 years. And that one of these objects was most likely responsible for the Great Flood. But comets used to be a very rare event. None would be visible from Earth for many years. And when they did appear, it used to frighten people who thought that disasters were associated with their appearance. But now at least 2 per year are visible with the naked eye. This indicates that the number of these objects coming into the solar system has grown exponentially in recent years. This has also occurred at the same time that the sun has weakened to the point that it may now not be emitting any visible light at all anymore. And you may look at Article 351 entitled The Sun is No Longer Shining for more details. This suggests that either the solar system has moved into a denser region of the Planet X system, or the sun's increased weakness is allowing more and more stellar cores and their debris to enter the solar system. It could also be that both factors are valid. As the sun weakens, it is likely that these objects will increasingly target the planets and small stars, and that is Jupiter and Saturn, in the solar system as sources of energy, which should then unleash increased destructive processes upon these solar system objects. The appearance of noctilucent clouds on Earth in 1850 signified that the destructive effect of the Planet X system, or destroyer system, on the Earth had entered a new level. This meant that stellar core dust was now reaching the Earth in large quantities, and that therefore the number of these objects inside the solar system had increased substantially. You may look at Article 271 for more details on that. In the same way, the beginning of tornadoes appearing on Earth around 1640 meant that another level of this destructive process had been reached at that time. Tornadoes are the result of small moon cores entering the Earth's atmosphere and producing gravitational vortices. And you may look at Article 357, titled Planet X and Gravitational Vortices, Hurricanes, Tornadoes, and Waterspouts for more details. The fact that the incidence of tornadoes has greatly increased to the point that they started appearing in regions on Earth that had never before seen any also means that the destructive process has been increasing. The appearance of ocean recession and tidal surge events also point to an increase in the destructive effects of the destroyer system on the Earth. And here are tornadoes and waterspouts. And basically these are as a result of the Planet X system affecting the Earth. This actually means that there are objects inside the atmosphere that are producing gravitational connections in the form of gravitational vortices with the Earth. These objects will also increasingly cause earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and fissuring of the Earth's surface. Their debris may impact as asteroids, and as larger size of these objects reach the Earth, it means that the Earth may experience a crustal displacement. And here is one of these objects in the sun's corona producing a vortex connection with the sun. A gravitational vortex is sometimes called a solar tornado, because that's what it is. These gravitational vortices are tornadoes in the sun's atmosphere, and they basically produce the same thing in the Earth's atmosphere when they enter the Earth's atmosphere. So in conclusion, the Oort cloud and the local interstellar cloud refer to the system of dead stars, planets, moons, and their debris, which come into the solar system and are seen as comets from Earth. I have named the system the Planet X system of stellar cores, but as its effect on the solar system and on the Earth are incrementally destructive, it may be more aptly named the destroyer system. And these are the references. This is Dr. Claudia Albers, Planet X physicist. Thank you for watching.